Tulsa, Oklahoma at the 2024 Darryl Starbird Show. This is your host, MICAH WOLFE. This episode is very special. A fantastic interview with the one, the only, the legend himself, Von Hot Rod. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay, so, hey guys, it's MICAH WOLFE, and I'm here with the legendary, Von Hot Rod.
I don't know about legendary.
You're legendary.
Maybe I'm a legend in my own mind. How's that?
I'll take that.
Okay, there we go.
So, actually, the first time I met you was at SEMA.
Yes.
And we had some photos, so I need to put those photos up on this
That'd be
interview.
perfect.
Yeah, because they
awesome.
were great photos. But
yeah, it was a lot of fun because you brought out your lowered Hummer.
Yeah.
And I compliment you on that car. I saw the car before I met you actually, and was talking about it, and that's how we came about. You're like, well, that's my car.
Yeah.
So get the backstory on that. That was good.
Yeah, I felt really honored I got to go out to SEMA. That was my first SEMA event.
Nice. That was my 36th.
36.
36
wow.
years, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
So, tell me about how you got started. You just,
I'll make a long story very short. Born in the industry. Dad was a sprint car driver, drag racer. And when I was born, Mom said quit racing. And you can't tell that to a car guy. So he started building cars, started working on cars. And as far as I can remember, as a little kid, I was the guy handing him wrenches and screwdrivers and stuff like that. And always handing the wrong one. And just every Friday and Saturday was always, the yard was full of cars, full of gassers for the guys that were going to be street racing that weekend. And so we've always been wrenching on cars. The problem is on every Saturday morning, we were just going to like junkyards and guys' garages and speed shops collecting parts.
Right.
And I used to tell them, I go, gosh, why doesn't somebody open up one shop like a Target where you can literally buy everything? You can buy tires, wheels, a cam, a hood, or whatever. And Dad's all that would never happen. So I kind of kept that in my head about opening a hot rod shop. And then when I was in high school, I was writing down a proposal about how I wanted this so-called hot rod shop. And a teacher saw what I was doing and, kind of helped me, gave me guidance because I was going about it obviously the wrong way.
Right.
And I graduated high school. There was nothing special about me. I was an average student, got in trouble all the time. Had a hot rod that I drove to school. And I went to college. The week I was there was great. I literally walked out of class and said, this is not for me. It's going to take way too long. Do you understand? I need to retire at an early age and I can't take the 4 years. This is going to take too long. So the instructor's yelling at me and saying, you need to sit down. You need an education. You'll never make it. You'll never be somebody in this life. And as the door was closing, I yelled out, watch me. And I walked out of college. I walked out of university and got a grunt job. The pay was excellent, but the job was terrible. I started flipping cars, and about 2.5 years later, I walked into my boss's office and said I quit. I raised the money I needed to raise. He offered me more money, and at that time, I had my own secretary, my own office, and I had 22 guys underneath me. And I said, nope, I want to open up my own hot rod shop, and I'm ready to do it. He goes, well, you're welcome to come back if it fails. And I said, well, I hope you never see me because it can't fail.
Right.
I don't have a plan B. And I went for it. I opened up my first hot rod shop at 1,300 square feet, very small.
Right.
And 20 years later, I sold it. And at that time, my showroom was right at 4,000 square feet. I had a club attached to it, was 5,500 square feet. And we became one of the world's largest in the industry, and we were doing very well nationwide. We had just started a website when I sold the shop. So that's how long ago it was that I sold the shop. And that's kind of like what put me on the map. So by trade, I'm a welder, fabricator, designer by trade. I built hundreds and hundreds of cars and sold a bunch of cars. And social media has tagged me as a pinstriper. So that just came about by accident. Everything that I've ever done happened by accident. When I had the hot rod shop, guys would come in and shop because we had a retail store. And the girls would just stand there, their wives or girlfriends. And so I talked to them and find out that at that time there wasn't any cool clothes in the motorsports industry. So we came out with a girl line called Hot Rod Girl. Hot Rod Girl is now 33 years old, the girl clothing line. You can find it in stores and boutiques. So from there we started the jewelry line. From the jewelry line we started the furniture line. From furniture we got into the club. And what happened with that was we were doing like a hot rod open house. And we'd have bands playing. There'd be about 300 cars that would show up on a Friday night, and it rained one day. And I thought, well, I hired a band. Why don't we just play in the warehouse? I shoved everything in the warehouse to the corner, had the band play on the floor. We were doing a barbecue. Everybody was inside eating and dancing, and I thought, well, this is a really good idea. So thus I opened the club, and it was called, Von Hot Rod's Hangout. And every Friday night we did live bands. Brian Setzer played there, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Oh my gosh, so that sounded like it was a hopping place.
It was a great place. Every Friday night was packed with music and cars, and it was just a lot of fun. And from there, we opened up a production company because I started renting that club out and doing 50s parties. So we ended up doing Von Hot Rod Entertainment Productions, where we do corporate banquets. So we do high-end banquets for, we've done like Kawasaki Motorcycles, Volts Temp Group, and just a bunch of other industrial style parties. So yeah, all from a hot rod shop. We just kept growing, and nobody ever said no. And
it seemed like you were always willing, and then had the ability to pivot with what was the next thing. You saw opportunity.
Exactly. Listening to my customers was probably the best thing ever, because they basically told me what they wanted, what they were looking for, and so that's what I did, and just gave them that opportunity. Don't make it look like I've been successful my whole life. I've failed plenty of times. Invested in cars, lost money on them. Made products, lost money on products, made some investments in things and lost money. I mean, I've dug into my savings probably 3 or 4 times. And decided whether we were going to close or not because we're not making any money, and just stuck it out. It's a passion of mine. I have petrol running through my veins, and it was my desire, nobody else's. I work, 15-hour days, 20-hour days, sometimes for free, because it's what I wanted. It's what I wanted to do. And what you see online and social media and YouTubes is great, but we put what we want you to see. There's still struggles and still hard times, and I maybe pinstripe an item and it doesn't come out the way I want it to. So it's a drive. I can teach you the secrets on how to do it and how to make business successful, but it's the drive in you. You have to have that passion.
That's the key ingredient.
Yeah, I speak at schools and universities, and that's one of the first things they say is, how can I get in the industry and how much money do you make? And if they're chasing the dollar, they'll chase the dollar the rest of their lives. You've got to have that drive and that passion for whatever you do. If you do marketing in cars, or if you do paint, bodywork, upholstery, you got to have that drive to become successful. And it'll come. The money's the easy part. It's you working the hard hours and doing stuff that you don't want to do, but you do it because that's what the customer wants, and putting a passion in it or your own twist on it, and it just comes out. It just really works.
So like right now, currently, what do your days look like? What are the projects you're working on, or what takes up most of your time?
Well, without giving a lot of hints out, we're doing a pinstripe shoe line. So guys can't talk about that yet. It's not public. But yeah, exactly. But we got all kinds of stuff like that. There's a lot of commission work that come in. I do a lot of those sculptures, a lot of sculptured lamps made out of car parts. I just did a pedal car for a car show. That's a gasser. It's a 55 Chevy gasser, and they auction that off. So there's a lot of projects that we do that have commission work. I mean, a lot of stuff comes in. And then with my appearances, we're booked all the way through December. We have 24. We're starting to book already 25. And then constantly coming out with new artwork and merchandising. We just did an investment in die-cast. We have our own die-cast line, and we're doing die-cast for like the World of Wheels and the Autoramas and Grand National Roadster Show. So you'll be able to get some new limited edition die-cast cars with a Von Hot Rod twist on it.
Right. Okay. So I guess you have a website where you can find these products.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything is at Von Hot Rod, vonhotrod.com. You
Von
can
Hot
search
Rod.
all that.
That's
it's
cool.
very simple.
And I just invested in some earrings.
Yes, she got the bracelet, the earrings, and the necklace.
And the necklace, and it's, ladies, it's stainless. Well, I don't have my earrings on, but stainless steel, so hypoallergenic.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's something that we've invested in, and it's doing great. We got pistons and wrenches. You can find all that stuff on the website and stuff like that. But, check it out. Go down there, send me a message. We do, they offered me 2 years ago, they offered me to be a radio DJ, and I'm like, I know nothing about radio, but why not? I'll try it.
You kind of got a good vibe about it.
I've been doing radio for 2 years, and it's been a blast. I mess up all the time because I'm a car builder, and it has been fun. Every Wednesday on KQLH 92.5, I do live radio. I go in the studio, and it's me in a room with a microphone, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's great. I'm good in front of people, but when you're by yourself with no reaction, it's way different. It took a lot to learn. So
I remember seeing you here at Starbird's like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes.
I had the Volkswagen in the Fine 9, which I don't know if I showed you pictures of that, but like and I commented at SEMA, and just now it's like you have this style about you, and
thank you.
And it's cool. And
Thanks.
I'm kind of shy sometimes, so I didn't come up and talk to you back 3 or 4 years ago. But I'm really glad that
thank you.
I got to meet you.
There's nothing to be scared about.
Yeah.
And just like anybody else, we just have this passion about cars. You know, everything we do is cars. And, you know, I'm the guy that has the car in the living room, so it's
that's
super cool.
What kind of car is it?
Well, it's a dragster I used to run in the 80s. It's a front engine dragster. And when my business got super busy, I had to park the car because I didn't have the time to run it. And I just bounced it around from storage to garage, all over. It ended up at my garage at my house one time. And I was watching TV and I have this empty wall, and I thought, you know what? I think this thing will fit. So I measured it out and took it for one last burnout down the street in the neighborhood, and took it apart in the garage and covered my living room in plastic and moved it in at midnight and assembled it 2 days later and then hung it on the wall.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
So there's an actual, it's 14 and a half feet long, this dragster, and it's sitting on my living room wall. Yeah, it's going straight up.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
You can see commercials or TV shows, and it's online, of course. You can take a look.
Okay.
So that's me.
Cool.
Yes.
I really appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Do you have any words of wisdom?
Stick with it if you have a passion, whatever it is that you do. Again, don't let people steal it. Set a goal. Don't set a goal like I'm going to be a millionaire in a week. Set something that's reachable. Do a 2-month goal. Reach that goal. Set another goal and keep reaching it. By the time you know, your passion is a dream. Your dream is coming true. But stick with it. Work hard. Pay your dues, and you'll be amazed at where the hot rod industry will take you.
Yeah. Well said. Guys, thank you for watching this video, and thank you again.
You're welcome.
And can I give you a hug?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I like to say hugs are free.
Thank
so,
you.
Anyway, I'll shut that off
We'll
now.
see you guys later.